Hello and welcome to this Python tutorial. In today's video, we will be diving deep into Python variables and constants, exploring what they are, how they work, and some key points to keep in mind while working with them. We will also cover some best practices for using variables and constants effectively. So let's get started. A variable is essentially a placeholder or a name that is used to store data values in your program. You can think of a variable as a container that holds a value which can be accessed or modified later in the program. In Python, variables are easy to work with and are dynamically typed, meaning you don't have to specify the data type when you create them. For example, let's declare a variable in Python. Here is how you can create a variable and assign a value to it. Age is equal to 25. In this example, we created a variable named age and assigned the value 25 to it. Notice that there is no need to specify the data type like you might in other languages such as C or Java. Python automatically detects the type based on the value. Let's take a closer look at the types of data we can store in variables. Python supports various data types including integers, floats, strings, and booleans. Here is how each of these types works. Age is equal to 25, an integer. Float is equal to height is equal to 5.9. Name is equal to John is a string. Is underscore active is equal to true is a boolean. As you can see, age is an integer, height is float, name is a string, and is underscore active is a boolean. Each of these variables can store different types of data. Python automatically detects and handles the data types for you. One key feature of Python variables is that you can reassign them. For example, you can change the value of a variable during the program's execution. Here in this example, we first set age to 25, printed it, and then reassigned it to 30. When we print it again, we see the updated value, that is 30. Now let's talk about constants. Unlike variables, constants are variables that are not meant to change once they are set. Python does not have a built-in constant type, but we can simulate constants using naming conventions. In Python, constants are typically written in all uppercase letters to indicate that they should not be modified. Here is an example of how to define a constant. As you can see, we define two constants, pi and max underscore users. The all uppercase naming convention tells other programmers that these values are constants and should not be changed. Constants are important because they help you maintain consistency in your program. By using constants, you will reduce the risk of accidentally changing values that should remain the same. For example, pi is a constant that represents a mathematical value that should never be changed. Let's look at an example where both variables and constants are used together in a Python program. In this example, pi is a constant while radius is a variable. The area of the circle is calculated using the pi and the variable radius. This illustrates how variables and constants can work together in your code. Now let's go over some best practices for naming your variables and constants. It's important to choose meaningful names that describe the purpose of the variable or constant. For variables, use descriptive names like user underscore age, total underscore price, or is logged in, rather than just generic names like X or Y. This makes your code more readable and easier to understand. For constants, follow the convention of all uppercase letters and use underscore to separate words like max underscore width or default underscore color. Another important aspect of variables is scope. The scope of a variable refers to where in the program the variable can be accessed. There are two main types of scope, local and global. A variable declared inside a function is local to that function and can't be accessed outside of it. A global variable, on the other hand, is accessible throughout the entire program. Here is an example to demonstrate the difference between local and global variables. In this example, global underscore var is accessible both inside and outside of the function, while local underscore var is only accessible inside my underscore function. To sum up, variables are used to store values that can change during program execution, while constants hold values that should remain the same. Python makes working with variables easy by automatically determining their type, and constants can be simulated using naming conventions. Remember to choose meaningful names for your variables and constants and be mindful of their scope to avoid potential bugs. And always aim for clarity and consistency in your code. Thank you for watching this video on Python variables and constants. If you find it helpful, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more programming tutorials. Happy coding!